Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch our lifetime's argument that nothing comes from violence.
Sting is a Renaissance man living at the turn of the new century. A musical time traveler, writing songs that are both eccentric and avant-garde.
I think I maybe reveal more than I intend when I write a song.
I used to wear these yellow and black sweaters, you know. And they thought I looked like a wasp, and they joke. They called me Sting. You know, they thought it was hilarious, and you know, they kept calling me Sting. That became my name.
When it comes to the matter of guitarists who have captured Sting's admiration, certain names emerge from the shadows with striking consistency. Through interviews, collaborations, and public tributes, Sting has drawn a vivid portrait of the players who have helped shape his unique musical journey. Each represents a different facet of what he seeks in guitar playing: elegance, innovation, storytelling, soul. Dominic Miller's partnership with Sting is one of modern music's great, if understated, alliances.
I know that the clubs are weapons of war. I know the diamond.
Since the early 1990s, Miller has been Sting's principal guitarist, co-writer, and confidant. Dominic understands my music at a molecular level, Sting told Guitar World. He knows how to complement my ideas without overwhelming them. There's a quiet brilliance in what he does. Born in Argentina and raised in America and England, Miller brought a cosmopolitan sensibility to Sting's band. He studied at the prestigious Berklee College of Music before building a career as a session musician, working with artists ranging from Phil Collins to the Pretenders. Their collaboration has produced some of Sting's most delicate and intricate work. It was Miller who crafted the hypnotic guitar figure for Shape of My Heart, a piece so haunting that it has become one of Sting's most recognizable songs. Miller's playing, with its classical precision and pop accessibility, mirrors Sting's own fusion of genres. Songs like Fields of Gold and Fragile showcase Miller's nuanced style, where gentle arpeggios and subtle dynamics underpin Sting's introspective lyrics. His approach reflects a philosophy Sting values deeply: restraint in service of emotion. With Dominic, it's never about showing off, Sting noted. It's about saying something essential with the least amount of noise. If Dominic Miller is Sting's most faithful collaborator, Andy Summers was the man who helped invent the sonic universe of the Police. Summers' use of lush chord voicings, delays, and modulation effects created the shimmering, otherworldly textures that defined the band's sound. Andy had this incredible ability to make three people sound like six, Sting reflected in an interview with Rolling Stone. He didn't just play notes, he created landscapes. Born in Lancashire, Summers was already an experienced musician when he joined the Police, having played with Zoot Money's Big Roll Band and Soft Machine. His classical and jazz training allowed him to approach rock guitar with a rare level of sophistication. Songs like Every Breath You Take, Walking on the Moon, and Message in a Bottle owe much to Summers' innovative style. His guitar lines were never content merely to fill space. They pushed the songs forward, giving them depth and character. Summers brought a refinement to the Police that belied their punk image. His deft layering of textures, often using chorus and delay effects, created a distinctive soundscape. He wasn't afraid to be subtle, Sting said. He understood that silence too is a kind of music. For Sting, Jimi Hendrix stands as a towering figure, a revolutionary who reimagined what the electric guitar could be. Jimi was a force of nature, Sting told Mojo magazine. He wasn't just playing guitar, he was reinventing sound itself. Hendrix, born in Seattle, took London by storm in the late 1960s, blending blues, rock, and psychedelia into something entirely new. His incendiary performances at Monterey and Woodstock became the stuff of legend. As a teenager, Sting was spellbound by Hendrix's performances. The freedom, the raw emotion, the dazzling technique all left an indelible mark on his young mind. Songs like Little Wing, The Wind Cries Mary, and Bold as Love showed Sting that the guitar could be as expressive as a human voice. What Hendrix did was make the guitar sing, he said. It could weep, it could rage, it could whisper. He expanded the emotional vocabulary of the instrument. Even though Sting never attempted to mimic Hendrix's pyrotechnics, the spirit of innovation and emotional truth that Hendrix embodied became guiding principles in Sting's own music. Eric Clapton's impact on Sting is less about theatrics and more about tone, feel, and musical honesty. Eric's playing has always been about emotion over speed, Sting told BBC Radio 2. There's a vulnerability in his guitar work that's incredibly affecting. Clapton emerged from the British blues explosion of the 1960s, first making his mark with the Yardbirds and later with John Mayall's Blues Breakers, Cream, Blind Faith, and as a solo artist. Clapton's blues-rooted approach resonated with Sting's belief that technique should never overshadow feeling. Tracks like Layla, Bell Bottom Blues, and Wonderful Tonight demonstrated to Sting the power of simplicity, how a single well-placed note could carry more weight than a cascade of scales. In 1992, at the Bob Dylan 30th anniversary concert celebration, Sting had the opportunity to share the stage with Clapton. The experience, he later said, was like standing next to a river of history. Clapton's career, marked by both triumphs and deep personal struggles, also served as a model of artistic perseverance for Sting. Eric reminds you that music is life, in all its messy, beautiful imperfection, he reflected. Mark Knopfler's finger-picking guitar style and his wry observational songwriting made a powerful impression on Sting, culminating in their collaboration on Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, where Sting provided backing vocals. Mark plays with this effortless grace, Sting observed. There's no bluster, no pretension. Every note is there for a reason. Knopfler, born in Glasgow and raised in Newcastle, brought a literary sensibility to rock music, crafting characters and scenes in songs like Sultans of Swing, Romeo and Juliet, and Telegraph Road. His work revealed to Sting the narrative possibilities within guitar playing. The guitar, in Knopfler's hands, became a character in the story, capable of irony, yearning, humour. He's like a novelist who happens to use 6 strings instead of a typewriter, Sting once joked during a joint interview with Knopfler. Their mutual respect is evident in their occasional collaborations and their frequent praise of one another's craft. Sting has often highlighted Knopfler's economy of expression, an ethos he strives for in his own work. Of all the guitarists Sting admires, Jeff Beck perhaps represents the purest example of musical adventurousness. Jeff was fearless, Sting said during a tribute following Beck's passing. He never stayed in one place for long. Every album, every performance, he was searching. Beck, who rose to prominence with the Yardbirds before embarking on a groundbreaking solo career, constantly reinvented his style, exploring blues, rock, jazz fusion, and beyond. Beck's ability to transcend genres, from truth to blow by blow to emotion and commotion, captivated Sting. Tracks like "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers" and Goodbye Pork Pie Hat displayed a touch and nuance that went beyond mere virtuosity. He treated the guitar like a human voice, Sting noted. There was breathing, sighing, laughing in his phrases. Although Sting never directly collaborated with Beck, he has frequently cited Beck's daring as a model for his own genre-hopping career. He showed you that the only limits are the ones you impose on yourself, Sting said. Despite their differing styles, what unites these 6 guitarists in Sting's mind is a shared commitment to emotion, honesty, and the endless pursuit of musical truth. They are players who, each in their own way, elevated the guitar from an instrument to a voice capable of narrating stories, conveying moods, and reaching directly into the heart. I think what draws me to these players, Sting mused in a recent interview, is that they all have a kind of fearlessness. They're not just playing to impress, they're playing to connect, to say something real. That's the goal, isn't it? Not just to be heard, but to be felt. In his own work, Sting continues to channel the lessons he learned from Miller's quiet artistry, Summers' sonic architectures, Hendrix's emotional fire, Clapton's vulnerable soul, Knopfler's narrative finesse, and Beck's restless innovation. He honors them not by imitation, but by striving always to meet their example, to make every note matter and every silence speak.